seconds. Let me start this. Hi there, it's Brian. Sebastian, movie reviews and more. Women on TV.tv, Worldwide TV Entertainment, formerly the Women's Broadcast TV Network, IT247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, iHeartRadio, and all the platforms around the world. Does it look like I'm freezing? Yes, I'm freezing. I'm in Hollywood, California, and it's cold out today. However, I guess our weather is in Ireland right now. Right, Monica? All right, so Monica, tell us who you are and where you're coming from. And why do you look so beautiful? And you're wearing short sleeves, and I got 3 levels of clothes on. I'm freezing.
Thank you so much, Brian. First of all, I really, really want to take this time, just to say thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm very grateful for this. I'm in Ireland. Beautiful weather out there today.
Oh, yeah, of course it is.
Yes, we do have your weather today, but tomorrow is not promised. So,
that's true.
So we're just enjoying today as much as we can. My name is Monica. I'm originally from Romania, but I live in Ireland since I was 19. So I kind of grew up here, matured more here. So yes, I really enjoy, Ireland, apart from the weather. That just kills me. I just want to, hopefully one day move into a sunny country.
Where do you want to go one day?
I don't know, just somewhere where there's only one season, only summer. I don't care when it is, as long as it's not raining 200 and something days of the year. Yeah. Apart from the weather, I really enjoy the people and the atmosphere and the culture. I really enjoy the Irish humor, and it's very, very amazing. So yes.
Give us your last name and talk about the book and everything what you're doing and how it came about.
Yes. So Monica Talpos. So I wrote a book about a children's book, aged 3 to 7, and the name of the book is called I Am Happy and Grateful. So the story behind this book, of course, it started, I think a lot of stories started during COVID, and so did mine. I always enjoyed writing my own things, but I was always kind of put down. So during COVID, I was always a busy, stressed, businesswoman, always trying to do, more than I could handle. And then everything stopped. So I was out for a walk with the little one, and I was just so rushed. And she was just in her moment, and she was just, enjoying the leaves. She was 3 at the time. And I was starting to panic, and then I don't know, something just stopped. And my brain kind of stopped, and I was like, what am I trying to do? Like, I'm at home, I'm doing, nothing. I was working from home, but I was like, I'm not grateful enough for this. This is one in a lifetime chance to enjoy, to stay home with your kid, because everyone else was locked in the house. There was nothing else to do. So then I kind of slowly got the idea of the book. But in the meantime, I started studying with Bob Proctor. About paradigm changes and goal achievements, and and I really, really enjoyed it. It totally changed my perception of life, so to say, and my life has completely changed since. So then with the book, I stopped because I said, no, this is just a silly idea. I shouldn't, who's going to read my book? I'm from Romania, just a girl that has no, I don't know, child psychology or, any degree in, child's books or whatever it is. So I decided not to go forward with it, but it was still in the back of my head. So close to Christmas last year, I had this idea that if I can make, because it was all like, in the meantime, I was trying to look for publishers. I was talking to Judy at the time from Hasmark, and I just wasn't convinced that this is for me and I should do this. So I got an idea to kind of do some Christmas decorations. I said, I'm, home a lot more. Let's just do something. And I said, if I can sell enough decorations, whatever I was doing, to get the money for the book, that means it's a sign. This is a sign for the book, to write the book. So I started doing some little, I can actually show you. They're little trees, but the meaning behind, to me, they just looked pretty. But the meaning behind these little trees.
Let me see that again. I think that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. I like that.
There is a little robin here, and the white feathers. So the white feathers mean angels. So when you lose someone and you see a white feather, it's a sign from them. And then the robin is, again, when you see a robin, that means someone that you lost is trying to communicate to you. So I had no idea. But back then, to me, they just looked pretty. And I was like, I have to do these, why not? And I was overwhelmed. I had to close the shop in 3 hours, because in 3 hours I sold 100 and I had 10 on my table. And it took me 2 hours to make one. So people were just ringing me, crying, and they're like, oh my God, I lost my kid. I lost my father. I lost, can you put a robin underneath? I'm going to start crying. And it was funny because at the same time, I think the money that I had in the bank was the exact money that I was required to write the book. And I was like, this is a sign, So I just, in January, I said, yes, I'm going, this is it. I have to write this book, So yes, that's the story behind the book.
That's a great story. It started to make me think of things, that spiritual connection and the messages. And that's what we're doing. So you were listening to the messages, but your messages were also conveyed to other people for them to listen to the messages. So you're creating these things. Good for you. See, I like that. But that can also be year round too, don't you think?
It can be what, sorry?
For year round also?
Yes, absolutely. And it is, and it's been amazing for, gifts, this little tree. And I hope I can touch as many hearts with the book as I did with this little tree that has so much meaning, and all I want to do is, I've continued, of course, with the little decoration in the background, but it was just amazing. It was just so emotional and yes, spiritual. And I never realized that, to me, it was just, I have to do it. And no matter what, I was like, no matter what, I have to do it. So I was listening to my intuition and, I was just going for it. I said, no matter what, if this is to be, it is a sign. So yes, definitely. It's amazing.
Why is this important for you? Talk about why this is important.
The book.
Yeah.
Yes. The book, I think, for me is very important because I wasn't grateful enough. I was always in a rush. I was always hoping for, okay, I'll be grateful when I will have something. I'll be grateful when my business is going to be successful. I will be grateful when I'll have everything working out for me, because I can't be grateful now because I don't have what I want. So as I said, during COVID, having having a child completely changed my view on life. And I think it took me around 3 years, after I had the child, to realize that it's not yesterday, it's not tomorrow, it's today, it's now, it's the time that we have just right now. This is the most important life. This is the most important time. Sorry, I'm getting very emotional. And I think I was trying to, through this, with this studying with Bob for Bob Proctor for almost a year, I did a lot of gratitude in the mornings, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting out of my comfort zone and just doing it. So for me, it worked amazingly for me to just take the 2 minutes, 10 minutes a day to just say, okay, what am I grateful for today? now, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my child, for my husband, for my job, for my business. It's not a perfect business, but it's a business. Or for whatever it was, for the car that I have, even though, yes, I do want, another one. And I think we all live in this moment that we're never, nothing is enough, and like, okay, I'm going to be grateful when. And I think for us to be able to get more in our life and be open to receiving more, we have to live in the present, first of all, and just be grateful for what we have, and then everything else is going to flow. So I said, if I can teach, every night, if I can do a little exercise with myself, and then I'll get quicker at this, not quicker, better at being grateful, just program because our brains function, before we go to bed, they're more receptive on what we think. And so I started doing that, and because I was putting her to bed, I started doing it with her a lot, and I could see a big change in our relationship. We're two girls. She's exactly like me. It's so annoying seeing someone that has the same temper as you do. I mean, it's just so, you look at her and you're like, oh my God. So we did this every night, and I was kind of saying, what are you grateful for? And the funny things that she would come up to, she's like, because you make me smile, mommy. So then I said, if I can actually have a little book to help other moms, that want to find themselves after having a child. You want to find your identity. You kind of you do lose you lose yourself in the process of having a child. So if I can do that, and that can be a little exercise for, it's not just for children, it's for parents as well. That would mean a lot for me, because it meant a lot for me. And if I can help someone else that's struggling as much as I did, then that, how amazing would that be? Other people have helped me in my process of finding myself, and why would I not be able to help someone else? So it's I think gratitude is very important, and we don't do it enough. We don't even think about it enough. And with our children, I think the message that I'm really trying to bring out in this book is the feeling that, there's a few affirmations in there. There's a few good things that the simple things that the kids can do. I'm happy and grateful for my mom and my dad. And I mean, everything is simple, but this is really working. It's, the book is a simple book, but, definitely don't take it for granted, because the children will get that, and they will feel it. And it's not just the words, it's the feeling that the words have on your kid, and, the way they're thinking. When they feel, because when you say, I'm happy and grateful for my health, for my mom and my dad, they will not only think of the words, they will actually feel the words. And that puts them in motion, and puts them in an attitude of gratitude then. And if they go to bed with that gratitude in their mind and in their feeling, like, imagine how amazing. They wake up in the morning a lot happier. They live their day a lot happier. And yes, our day is not perfect. Our children's day is not perfect. Things go wrong all the time. But another message that I really wanted to bring forward was, no matter what happens during the day, at the end of the day, you always have another day. You always have tomorrow. So it's okay. I didn't do as well today. I was not myself. I said things I shouldn't. But at the end of the day, you always have the next day to be kind.
Well, and that's the case, because you mentioned a couple things in there, and I agree with that, and I do the same things. A lot of times people aren't grateful and show gratitude and empathy of what they're going through when they don't have anything. That's the time when you're supposed to do that. I had to learn that too, with everything that's exploding for all what we're doing for movie reviews and more, and for the people that we're helping. It is about, when you're at your least, you're at your worst, you still have to show gratitude and that you're grateful and emotion and empathy to the universe because it does respond. You're absolutely right. And then what you were doing with your daughter for that, that's important too because it teaches them. And then you have that spiritual mother-daughter relationship also. And then those other people, when it comes to that, that's how you do it. So you're absolutely right when you do that. And I do that. And that's one reason why I like to talk to a lot of the authors, the people that I'm interviewing. I like to talk to them ahead of time so I can get a feel of what they're like. And then I don't do a one and done. You know, now that you and I talk, now you and I are friends. I don't just do my interview now. Okay, I'm not talking to Monica ever again. No, don't be surprised, Monica, when I'm knocking at your door in Ireland, if you're still there, if you have to move to California before, because that's what I do. I've always done that, but that's me.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And if we can, you know, bring our kids with this, nothing is perfect. We're not going to be able to do this in a day or two. This takes practice. You know, gratitude takes practice. You know, life takes practice. We are brought into this world without a manual and we have to figure it out ourselves. So if we can give our children a little bit of a guidance, you know, I was brought up in a very religious environment, and I was always brought up with fear. And you know, oh my God, what did you did yesterday has an effect on your tomorrow. And I really, really want to emphasize that when I'm teaching my own daughter and say that's okay, that's in the past. Move on. You can do better next time, and not have that always that resentment or always the past dragging you, you know, from behind. And if I can make one kid or one adult, you know, to understand this and to, you know, to not be afraid of anything and just be grateful and help, you know, help whoever you can. If I can help one kid, one adult to understand the message and feel it, like feel the gratitude when, you know, when they read the book, I'm so happy. I will be over the moon with, you know, if I can achieve that one thing. And at the end of the book, um, there is a little part where the kids can put their own gratitude. So there is a little part so they can just take a pen and write a few things every night, even if there's just one thing a night. That would make a bigger difference. One thing a night for 30 days, it will have a big impact on the way they see, you know, and understand gratitude. Because most kids 3 or 7 don't really understand it, but this would give them a little feel of it.
I like that. And that's definitely true. And you talked about the practice of doing the things that we do. In my Buddhist practice, we call it a practice because you're never mastering it. You know, we want to achieve enlightenment. For me, I believe in world peace, and it took me 16 years to believe in that. So that's something that I have to do every day for the rest of my life. And I've been doing it for what, 33 years now? So imagine, I get it. And you're so right when it comes to that, because that's what I want. And you know, and you'll see when I sign off, what I say to everybody, because I want everybody to be happy. And a lot of people are going through things and it's not easy. Talk about this. What kind of
Yes.
movies do you watch? What kind of music do you listen to? After all, this is movie reviews and more.
Yes. So movies that I watch are action and comedies. Um, I'm a crybaby. I cry at movies, but I do not want to see blood in my movies. Even though I really enjoy Game of Thrones, I watched all of them. I really, really love them, but I don't really like, you know, all that. Or if I see any children, I just cry immediately. So I would like, you know, the James Bonds. I haven't seen the last one, but I'm really, really interested. And just comedies, Adam Sandler and, you know, Jim Carrey. I absolutely love them. Music, I like all the new trendy music. I listen a lot of, you know, high vibration music because that really helps me. um, I do a lot of affirmations. So when I do have time, it would be something very positive that I would listen. So I'm not very picky, but I would just look for the one that's right at that moment. So with music, I'm not really, even though I listen to some, you know, because I'm originally from Romania, I would listen to some, you know, songs in Romanian, like pop. It would be more like pop kind of stuff.
And that makes sense. So last question.
Yes.
Inspiration, because you and I both do affirmations daily, and they're very, very important to us, because I'll be walking down the street and I'm saying my affirmations. I've been doing it for so long. I don't care if people think I'm crazy or not. I'm saying them for a reason. I'm also saying them for the health of other people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it. I'm like, I don't care if people hear me, because I'm helping other people, if that makes sense. And I know you can relate to that.
Absolutely love that. Yes. If we can be bigger than ourselves, knowing that we're going to help someone else, that's just amazing. So well done.
Well, that's why I do it, because it's for me, it's about cause and effect. The many good causes I can make, I get all kinds of great effects back whenever it comes back.
Yes. And it does come back.
Absolutely.
If you put good out there, it comes back good. It can't come back bad. There is no way.
Right. And it's based on our thinking, obviously.
Everything is based on our thinking. And,
Yep.
you know, if we can see it, you know, Bob says this a million times, Bob Proctor, he says, if we can see it in our mind, we can hold it in our hand. And sometimes it's very hard to believe, but it is true. How many times you walk down the street and you're like, oh, I kind of seen that, you know, I was there, or I really wanted that. And suddenly it just appears. That's you really, you know, manifesting and bringing that into your life, you know. So the more good you put out there, the more it comes back.
See, and I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for you when you come over, because the intention is already set. You and I have already talked, so I already know what I want for you to happen. And I'm excited about that. You don't know yet, but I do know. And that's exciting though, isn't it? Because you know it's going to be good.
Absolutely. And you know, it's just amazing, you know, just talking with yourself, and where, you know, it's amazing we're on the same page. Affirmations, and I mean, that's just amazing, because this is how magic happens. You have no clue where it's coming from, but it is coming if you're thinking good. I think myself as a circle. It's like I'm a circle and there's light going through me, and if, you know, the only way that light can go through me is if I can help someone else, and the people behind me help someone else, and then it comes back. By the time it comes back to me, I have no clue who was sent to me, but I know that it was just meant to be. And I really, really believe in that. And, you know, studying with Bob Proctor for a year, it really helped me see that. I couldn't see that before. I was just like a little, you know, I could only see this way. I could not see this way. And it is amazing to be able to, you know, let some of that paradigms die, and, you know, just believe and trust. I think is very important. Trust that the universe will bring everything that you want back to you. So
last question.
Yes, go ahead.
Give your social media links.
Yes, I do. So Facebook, Instagram, Monica Talpos, and I am happy and grateful for the books. So yes, really working on that. This is so new to me, and I still don't know where I am. So I'm trying to really build something and try to help, as I said, help other women that, you know, had children, you know. And so, but yes, this is all very new, and hopefully we'll get to where I want to be.
And as I always say, if you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs it. I would say this: have a good night to you, and I'm going to have a better day tomorrow. And then we're going to switch each other's weather. I'm Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more. We will see you next week.